Okay, we are about to begin a brand new game, a brand new series with a familiar character. So, before anything else, welcome back to the Druidic Stormcloud channel, where today we're going to be playing Pillars of Eternity. And we're going to be taking our dwarven character Dumerbella and making her in this game. Before that, I want to thank anyone that's going to be joining us. I'm going to do a bit of stalling beforehand, just to try and give people a chance to click that link and hop in. The poll had been very close, so after this I'll be playing some Dungeons of Sundara later today to give people a taste of that. Dumerbella is a dwarven barbarian, and she will continue to be. And we're going to be making this as accurate and potent a tank as possible, because that is her intended purpose. She just refuses to die. A barbarian too stubborn to die. And, well, we're not going to do a very long stall session. We're going to go right on in here in just a sec, because I want to play this game. In addition, one of my friends was excited to talk about this game as well. Alright, here we go. Or we would if get back over to the there we go. Just had to do a bit of loops to we're going to go with normal mode. We're not going to do expert or trial of iron. This is just to allow the exploration of it.
Five wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Not a good sign, is it? Female. Next is race. Dwarf. Might and constitution. Dexterity is... Okay. Next, mountain dwarf or boreal dwarf. Let's go with mountain dwarf. Barbarian. Frenzy and barbaric yell. So rage and an intimidating battle cry. Damage and healing. And here we have endurance and health. This should be good. Attributes. The Living Lands. The Living Lands is the mountain region. Northern Island renowned for diversity, plant wildlife. Okay, this is where I'm leaning. This one could go Constitution. And not a C1. Living Lands. Next. And so we could go Colonist, Explorer, or Drifter, Explorer, Hunter, Mercenary, Laborer, Merchant, Scientist. Alright, so we'll say this is after the events that led up to her backstory, so that's that. Alright, so maybe that one. Uh, this is very close to what we were going for before. Short, spiky hair. Okay, this is good. This is good. Let's go with this.
Eh? I've got this. Let's go!
Keeping quiet.
Huh? Follow me. Let's go!
Easy does it. Hey there. Watch and learn. They'll never know I'm here.
Yes. Now I am leader of the group. Kill them all!
Easy now.
I'm here, leading the way.
Silence surrounds me.
I shall lead us. Death to our enemies!
Nothing will slip past me.
Just say the word. I'll lead the way. Stand together!
Shh.
Eh?
Let's go with feisty. It makes sense for Doomer Bella. And I grab a screenshot. And done. Okay, everything is stable. Good, good, good. The caravan master finishes addressing the group. His bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quiver as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods towards a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who would be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. 'St. Got a sick one here.
He nods in your direction. He nods in your direction, and he turns to you, frowning as he looks you over. Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. He nods in your direction. looks over his shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfield. He carries an old sun-bleached bow. He nods in your direction. Sparfield nods and slides the worn bow over his shoulder. Where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
What are those ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
Wait, if they didn't build them, who did?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
It's dangerous out here.
Not if you hurry about your business, and not if the weather holds up.
What kind of weather do they get here?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a Beowick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to.
Yeah, and what are these big rocks?
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Alright.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's nights sleeping on uneven ground without a blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time. She needs to find some spring berries. Watch that she doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her, you're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beowick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
No problem.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
Here we go. I didn't want fast mode, I was trying to...
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Ah, a young wolf. Okay.
This is it.
As you receive quests, your journal will update. Alright, for the stuff. Look like you've seen your share of action. What'd you do before you came here? Before I came here I was a blade for hire. Yeah? How'd you happen to come here? I'd say I don't have the most sparkling reputation at home. Here, I'm anonymous. Well, we got all things we've all got things we'd like to leave behind. God's know I do. I'll tell you that. Here's hoping they never track us down. She breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way. Well, it is, but I always did like it. Lord Redrick's offer makes a person think. I'll give him that. Here to settle like the rest of us? Hadn't given it much thought. No harm in that. Might as well see the place first. So, you must have some other plans in mind before coming away. I'm just looking for some adventure, really. You should hook up with the expedition. Some of the bigger towns send regular groups out to unexplored places. As long as you don't mind a little danger. Anyway, I'm wasting my time here. Odmal give me an earful. Let's be on our way. Why are you here? She sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried. That's how my sister always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out. And that's got me a little worried. Haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work, make small metal. But I'd do anything for her. She's a much better woman than I am. Than me. So I'm here and we'll see. What can you tell me about Jerwood? I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adir Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. Not an easy tremor in her voice, she adds. I'll have to ask my sister more about it. I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wonders too. We started in Deerwood. But my parents ended up in the Living Lands. Got a brother in Rotilli and another in Ader. My sister in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. You know, I wouldn't mind hold my breath on that Barfield getting your water anytime soon. He does what he feels like when he feels like it. We should check up on him first. Slap him around a little. Swim's down that way. Come on, let's get you your water. When did it get to fast mode?
What a surprise. Sparfle went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on. This is recent. Not good.
Okay, that is all we get from there. Crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Casillas waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. Out of the tree emerges Sparkle, one of the guides. Only discernible in the dim moonlight, no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness to his gait. His stride wobbly as he moves toward you with labored breath.
Sparfle? Are you alright?
Sparkle's toe catches on a rock and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag.
Ambush! Yeah? Hmm? Come on, we have to get back to camp. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay. I keep trying to use WASD. All around you lie the massacred remains of other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Kalissa pulls the back of her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stand above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from the bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them towering and severe, with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the young man you recognize as Hyoden, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. The ruin has not been sullied by our hands, men of Glenfath. Your words carry no weight. I have seen the truth of it with my own eyes. Blood must be repaid for this intrusion. Let's go with the might one.
What you need?
Wait.
Hmm?
Oh. Wait. Ah. There was a choice of Barbaric Yell and the other one. Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to resist. His companions move now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible breath beneath his choked sighs. A whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good. Good. The gods are just. A strange smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to howl, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, and where it pierces you, you feel as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against the wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across the chest and bowel, Odema's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head. His eyes barely open, he looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
straining against the gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step. You set your hands on the worn folds of withered rock and set about pulling yourself up to the precipice. With a burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Theoden trails behind you, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation as he nears the face of the rock. One of the fallen attackers who had been feigning death lunges for Theoden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Theoden lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you, despite the wind from your position. If you were to throw your weapon at the attacker, you would have a good chance of hitting your mark. Yeah, let's do that. Your aim is true, and the hit jars Theoden loose. Lurching to his feet, Theoden clambers up the base of the rock. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But, diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength, and it feels as though your arm will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Theoden to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There is a deep resonance of the swelling wind now. You feel it on the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stone before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entrance portal begins to fall beneath its own weight.
Was that?
A Bewick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside. Can you walk?
Theoden's jaw tightens and he nods.
Got it.
That should be far enough. But what now?
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
What happened out there? Calicia shakes her head. Windstorm, of a kind they only get here in Erglanfath. Not too many people live through them, so it's hard to know what's true. The Glenfathan word is Bewick. To them, it's the gods' way of reaping souls of the land that couldn't find a way out. But they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. So yeah, yours. Who attacked us? Glenfathans. Those would be the hut dwellers Odin warned you about. Look to be fangs of Gallowayne, or the twitchiest of the lot. They go ruin to ruin looking for fights with colonists. Poor Odima, I think he have expected this once we lost the main road. The Bothans thought we trespassed in these ruins. I don't believe that. Odima would never allow it. But as much as the Fangs are hotheads, Glenfathans don't attack without being provoked. Either they saw something and got the wrong idea, or she finds that the passage beyond. Or there's looters here with us. That's not something we need right now. Alright, let's get going. Theoden takes a step forward and his knee buckles. And before anyone catches him, he stumbles to the ground, his cheek striking the time-worn cobbles. On unsteady legs, he claws his way back up the wall, back to his feet. But his stance is shaky, like a sailor walking on land for the first time after a time at sea.
Could we maybe stay here and rest a few hours? I've lost some blood. It seems quiet off to the left. Might be a place to rest there.
I hate to say this, but we can't afford to stay put. Those Glonfathans were riled about something. Could be we got company in here. Looters will be armed and ready to kill, and there's probably a lot of them. We can't be caught sleeping in their beds.
Please, I just need to lie down for a while. Then we can move as fast as you want.
Maybe you didn't hear me. We are gonna die in here if we don't get moving and get this place figured out before the looters come back. We've either gotta find the exit or a damn good place to hide.
Got to take the risk and let him rest. We need all three of us at full strength.
This will be the end of us. No offense, but there's people out there I'd much rather die for.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're not going to rest over here, but there is stuff over here we can take.
Someone else has been here. We should move.
Okay, first and foremost, we need a new sword for Doomerbella. We'll give her a torch and, for now, an axe. Oh. This is probably something entirely unrelated. No two-handed weapons, though. Keep trying to use WASD. This guy, let's slowly back away. There we go.
They'll never know I'm here. Look at the tiles. What are those symbols? brutish symbol. I'm pretty sure I saw it on one of the tiles back there.
Use torch to light the brazier.
Look! Let's go!
What's that muck on the wall?
Viscous slick and the viscous slick of something dark and tar-like runs down this wall. The shape and bulges of the ooze suggest that something lies beneath it, but you can't tell what. Use the water skin. He rinse the ooze away, revealing an intricate relief of a man's face. The sunburst surrounding it has chipped away in places, but the details of the head, from the tight curls of hair to the ridges of his portrait pointed ears, still showcase remarkable craftsmanship. One eye socket is empty, a gem fills the other. Place the gem we found in the eye socket. The chamber begins to rumble, stray rocks dancing on the tile floor. Finally, a large section of the wall gives way. Cloak of protection. Gem. Gems are important for upgrading your stuff.
How can I help?
I will come back to loot more later because apparently I can't get that right now. Plus there's no one that can disarm traps apparently.
Wait. Do you hear that?
Time to see and not be seen.
Alright, we killed that thing, which is going to give us something that will make things better with that kobold. Yes, we give it the Skuldar meat. And it gives us the spear. Slightly better. And throw the cloak on as well. Use the hammer to and chisel to weaken the wall, or push on the wall. Push the wall.
I could scout ahead, see what's around the corner.
Let's go!
Okay.
Raft coming through that wall. I don't hear any sign of that storm either.
Okay, here we go. Okay, we managed to beat the large spider, and we're about to hit the next point in the storyline. First, how's everything here? Managed to get everyone out alive altogether. But here's the thing. 4 figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled Aedra and metallic vines, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colorless as stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you're well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick gray beard frames his face, otherwise hidden beneath a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with runic language, unlike anything you have ever seen, and he wears a strange black headdress with 2 protrusions on it that jut out like the wings of some malevolent creature.
Oathbinder bear witness. And see, this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book. Your brother has done his part, and you have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth, and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
Flashbang. Sorry about that. For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air is still. Then, all at once, it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision, and you are knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land. A pain wells into the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away into the black, unconscious void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with Aedra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end of the pillar of Aedra pierces At the far end, a great pillar of Aedra pierces the floor from below, its shimmering textures giving the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar is an apparatus, much like the one you have just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. Your thoughts are yours and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them. And they're all questions, pressing questions, troubling questions, questions that must be answered, or at the base of the pillar now, you see a man with a thick gray beard. One moment. Sorry about that. At the base of the pillar now, you see a man with a thick gray beard and in ceremonial robes, crowned with a strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You are walking towards him now, at a pace that is hurried while trying not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all, and the question spins in your mind, madly in your mind. And end scene. You awaken to find your Malleus has broken, only to replace with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Movement flits through your periphery, but when you turn to look, you can see no sign of whatever it was. You find that your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary paranoid tick. If this is a sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. The figure and the machine the figures and the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is nowhere to be seen. Howden and Calissa lie bloody on the uneven cobbles, their bodies twisted unnaturally in death. You are alone and far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope for receiving treatment before things get worse. And we leveled up.
Won't get far like this.
I swear there had been a way of making this quick. I just don't remember it. Alright, what we're going to increase is athletics. Not much else for her. Next. We're going to put it into two-handed style for now. We will make use of the thing that'll come soon. To restat her. So that we have the rage instead of the war cry. Useful though the war cry is, it doesn't fit her. Valewood. Here we will rest. doesn't go anywhere. No, it does. Okay. I bumped a wrong button and I think it was trying to get me to enter cheat commands, which I will not be doing. Okay, and loot him. And Gilded Veil. Here we are, the town. This is my first time playing this game as the barbarian. Also, I've never actually gotten far in it, so...
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
Glances at the gnarled, leafless monstrosity of a tree next to him. Do you welcome everyone this way? The only answer you hear is the buzzing of flies from the tree.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever conceived a Hollowborn child?
What are you talking about?
An infant born without a soul, of course. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps to the side and inclines his head ever so slightly towards the deformed tree.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
Alright, so before I got here, he regards you carefully. You want to mind where you mention that trespassing in Guathan ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Beareth have mercy, we certainly have. I don't think so. Just as they finished, there was a Bewick. He polishes his spectacles on his sleeve. If you'd been that close to a Bewick, you wouldn't be standing here. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in the Gilded Vale understand our rules.
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, We saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
We're going to ask about the Hollowborn now. He blinks. I forget that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn are a scourge upon Deerwood. For almost 15 years now. Lowers his voice to a whisper. Children born without souls. He shakes his head. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe barely, but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hands. In truth, no one knows. But they began spreading after the Saints' War. And so the name Waidwen's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol. I see. Lord Redrick's decrees may seem strict at times, but he has our best interest at heart.
Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last. 3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
What do you mean? Come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy is struck at the heart of gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Bareth must be redoubled. He sets a steely gaze on you. What happened? He shrugs one bony shoulder. I will know more details when the messengers arrive. The vagaries of childbirth, perhaps, but that is nothing of concern. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing now. I advise you to get some rest. The inn or a stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. Come to us at a strange time, I'm afraid. Snux was not what it used to be. We have fine weapons and armor to offer you. All forged right here at the Black Hammer. What happened. We just don't have the supplies. Been expecting the next delivery for near on a week now, and seen a sign of it. Had to expect that they were hit by bandits. Road out east is crawling with them. One of my workers ran off with the wagon themselves, or one of my workers ran off. Maybe to make some coin. As if the lot would dare. He scratches his jaw thinking, if you happen to be heading that way, maybe I could keep an eye out for the supply wagon. Or my shipment at least. They'd be cutting through the Black Meadow, I expect. Only good road for it. As it is, most of our weapons go to His Grace Lord Roderick. He glances at the nearby guard, and that's as it should be. But it doesn't leave much for outsiders. We just don't have the iron. I'll find your supplies. And yeah, my thanks. You bring those supplies back and I'll have plenty more to offer you. A discount to start. Oh, and if you find my workers, tell them to hurry up or they can take to farming instead. We're also going to sell stuff.
Good day, stranger.
This is a unique stiletto, but we're going to go with a great sword. Move the torch and this, and then equip this, and go back to you.
How do you do?
Sell the stuff I don't need. We'll hold on to this for now. Alright, we'll toss this in there. Actually, we'll hold on to both of them and toss them in there. Should be fine. You see 4 people gathered by the door of the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hand for calm, his face partially obscured by a hood, but his heightened stature suggests him to be an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
One of the so I said, what's going on here? One of the townspeople, or one of the other men, points at the hooded elf, his eyes red from drink, but his gaze focused, mocking us even as he shelters in our village. Just goes to show you what these fancy Aedir manners are worth. We don't take that kind of treatment, not from foreigners, and especially not from Adrians.
Go on, say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
I don't think attacking him is such a good idea. Angry Townsend, the three drunks scowl at you, and why is that? Because then you'll have to deal with, or you'll have me to deal with. They look at each other. One of them gives the other two a warning shake of his head before turning to you. We're done for now, but this one better watch his step around here, because we're not going anywhere. With a final scowl at the elf, he turns to leave. As the three stumble away, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You mean watching them wet their pants? You're welcome. Or making them.
Well, that is one way of putting it.
He straightens his hood, and you notice the remains of fraying embroidery on the gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusor, at your service.
How'd you manage to get stuck here? That is something of a long story.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with the caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan Ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Several hooded figures operating a strange machine. Aloth goggles at you silently, apparently assessing your earnestness. Finally, he gives you a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
Just how did you manage to cross those three drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did tell that one man to go bang his sister. Ah, that. He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeve. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. It happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. That's not what happened. I heard the same thing. For just a moment, he looks like he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief. But before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lip so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes, and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. I apologize. My apologies. What are you doing in Gilded Vale?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
I've been experiencing some strange things of late. I'm looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
His darting glance takes in the tumbled down buildings and the fallow, rock-strewn fields. I expected such expertise would be best sought elsewhere. You don't look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
So do I.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
We now have Wizard.
Greetings.
Innkeeper bows her head curtly. Please, tell me what you would like. Would you like a drink or a room? We have two available at the moment. I'm afraid I can't offer you much or offer much by way of meal today, unless you're fond of cold porridge. Three first, I think. Retrain character, you. Frenzy is what we wanted. Offensive, two-handed style. Done. Now we have that fixed. Okay.
Good day to you.
You only serve porridge? It isn't by choice, I assure you. We used to serve some of the finest meals in Deerwood. We've had a damnable run of luck is all. It's been a bad season for the crops, and we're running low on supplies. I sent Tenfric up north to stock up. Tenfric's our cook, you see, an artist with a good roast. But it's been days since he was supposed to return, and we haven't seen any sign of him. She sighs again. I've only just taken over from the last owner myself. I don't know what I'll do if he doesn't turn up. I could try to find him for you. Really? Her face brightens. It'd be great. I'd be grateful if you could if you did. He was traveling through the Valewood. It's probably nothing, a broken wheel maybe, but I do worry. You see him safely home, and I think everyone here would sing your praises. Nobody much likes my porridge. Really, let me see. The actual building's been here for years, but the Black Hound's fairly new. We've got a lot of new faces here too, fewer than we used to, I'll admit. I used to work the tables actually, till the old owner up and left. Nobody's sure what happened to him. He even left his poor hound behind. That's the name, see? The Black Hound. It's still sitting upstairs pining for him. Poor girl. place ended up in my hands somehow. She laughs. My very own inn. A lot of hard work involved, but it's been worth it so far. Let's get a room. Of course, we keep them nice and tidy. We're going to go with the common room because this is not a very important choice. Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes and find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree. The creaking of its rope growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face is shriveled inward like a moldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly, her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty. And beneath them, you see a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air she speaks a word. Watcher. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her the Animancer. Though it fills you with a new, queasy apprehension, you feel strangely compelled to see this woman once more, if only to confirm that she is truly dead. Hello. The hound stares intently at the covered window, head cocked as if waiting to hear a particular sound. Looks up at you in approach and whines a low note, tail wagging slightly. Pet the dog. Dog's tail thumps happily against the floorboards. Sorry, girl. I don't think he's coming back. The dog whines softly again, head tilting. Well, you can come with me. Maybe we'll find him on the way. I'm going to gather as many of the pets as I can while being not evil.
looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Strange way to talk about your dead. Looks up the tree and breathes out. Half the town's up there. Seems like no right way to talk about it. I'm looking for someone that can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod and takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. The squat, distrended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from the thin, crooked bough that sags at the tug of her nose. The bloated purple flesh on her. I'm not going to describe the decaying corpse. And her lifeless head rolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when debris shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings. There is a tepid warmth to it. You feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Reach out for the woman. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind and focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you've expanded enough to reach her, there's a sudden jolt in your mind, a ringing, electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deep corner consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open your room again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel. From a tree that stands planted in a misty void, the woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear, or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
Am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I, wherever here may be.
How are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
Let's go with wanting to know more about her.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though. And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
She laughs, a rasping, choked chuckle or cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing her blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, See why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found? Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
What is an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us? The best? Inspirations. Miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other. Turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
I had other questions.
Of course, dear.
I think I survived a Bewick. You know what? Why that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me now.
You said souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
I need to understand what's happening to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
She nods.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten.
She nods again.
You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it. Sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
What do you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning a tuft of long whiskers that sprout from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kagnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Farewell.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldara closes her eyes and her head slumps forward, falling over the noose. And your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. Crucible of the Soul obtained. Alok looks at you with through narrowed eyes. You're right, you seem lost just now. Apparently I'm a watcher. His eyebrows recede into his hood. Well, that's interesting. Gives you a sly grin. And I expect this has something to do with the hooded figures in the ruins, In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise to share these things. Do you know anything about watchers? Only that they're rare, and they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions. As you just demonstrated. Let's continue on.
17 and a half.
The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair leaning against the mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. You look directly in his eyes, but it's not aggressive. He looks directly in your eyes, but it's not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Ilith frowns. Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. So do the people around here. Might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What is that about a dwarf?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What makes you think I was interested in her? He looks at you for a moment, his brow arched, his smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
Watcher is?
Careful, friend. Let's not use that word round here. Could be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
I think you're going to be hanged.
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
The war? Saints War. Only one in my lifetime. Fellow decides his living incarnation of Athos, overthrows Redacus, marches on Deerwood. We gave him Deerwood hello. What's a Deerwood hello?
We blew him up.
Favorite line in the game. Who's Athos? God of rebirth and redemption, formerly anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. Had other questions. Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Redric sent men down here the other day, said they had to, good authority. Someone in town was working with Kolsk, plotting Redric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, he'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later. If not for plotting against Redric, then for protecting me. What does the town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Athos worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Athos. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Athos isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Athos. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Athos worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Alva glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. Who's Klosk? Someone who's got tired of the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places that out there that don't think the Wadrin's legacy started with Wadrin. And we could travel together. Where are you heading? Some place called Cadnoa. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger. And a strange one at that. But truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
There's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
Alright then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
New character. We have our fighter and our main character has leveled up. So we have different abilities we can do. We're going to get the Savage Defiance, heal up when needed, and done. Next, there are a few quests that we can do now that we have 3 people. Now we go to the Valewood.
Let's go!
We should actually... Well, what I'm going to do is change up their AI a bit.
Yes?
Ah, here we go.
Hey. How may I help?
Okay, there we go. Now select everyone
Got
and continue on.
Lavaru beyond seek!
Now, when a party member is introduced to zero endurance, they are knocked out. This means they're out of the fight, but as long as your side is victorious, they will regenerate their endurance when combat ends. Even though endurance regenerates after combat, health does not. Keep an eye on the bar on the left of a character's portrait to prevent them from being maimed or killed.
Lavaru beyond seek!
Combusting wounds. Ray of fire. Lost Spirit, a figure drifts suspended in the musty air of the cavern. Its form features blur and twist as a cascade of ripples and cascading ripples of iridescence. You feel its energy abating about your limbs, filling them with a heavy chill. You reach out a hand for the spirit, and in the moment of contact you feel as if you have been struck by a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into the waiting darkness. Light blossoms at the edges of your vision. You feel the sun on your back and the weight of a bow in your hand. You know suddenly that you've come a long way from the vale hunting deer. Now you're standing before a cavern, and the darkness extends far into the depth. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his cloak flapping in his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There is a roar like thunder echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casting you stumbling back towards the exit, towards light and escape. You see a glint of steel, and there is a sudden, terrible flash of agony in your knee. You scream, stumble, and fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lanced through with pain, but in a moment of terrible clarity you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. And then there is a great dark shape above you, and then there is no more pain. Your dead spirit, there's nothing for you here. The spirit roils with thwarted anger and grief. Sorrow seems to seep into the very air of the cavern. The spirit dims and fades until you are alone once more. Movement speed down isn't too bad. over around there. Now, unused points will carry over to the next level. Young dwarf tending the stew looks up, startled as he sees your approach. He drops his ladle, splattering stew across the ground. What? The bandit turns. Get her, you dogs, and make sure our new cook don't run off. Help me, please. Help me. One of the bandits give Tenfrick a kick as they pass him, and he huddles.
How do you do?
By the flame. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for those ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Or until they were bored of me, I suppose. Did Pasca send you? She must be beside herself. I must get back at once. But listen, the next time you come to the Gilded Vale, make sure you drop by the Viscount. I'll let her know what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. Oh, to be back in my own urban heaven again.
Lava will be on seek.
Sure.
Scale the wall. Dial up itself. Athletics 5. And we have the ones that increase dexterity gloves. And climb down. let's just throw them on her. Give her the dexterity. It'll increase her attack speed and everything. Okay, let's sell these and double check our gold amount.
How do you do?
I wanted to keep that to double check if it was good with him or not. Could grab the breastplate. Mail armor would be better. There we go. That is a balance in that. To him and double check this to compare. Not as good. Okay. Wait. just going to toss everything into the chest for now. Okay.
Good day, stranger.
Hello, and welcome to the innkeeper looks up. Oh, it's you! Tenefref told us about what you did for him. It's such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. Consider yourself a favorite of the house. Discounts on drinks, rooms. Tenefref said he wanted to whip you up something nice for you. He's already back to work in the kitchen. And we get a bit of experience as well. Our faintly good relation here. Ah, it's my savior. He makes a sweeping gesture to indicate the kitchens around you. It's so good to be back. Do not think I will let this go unrewarded. I have decided that you have earned the right to learn one of my most closely guarded secrets. My dearest recipe. After this, you will eat nothing else. A savory pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well on your travels. Alright, so we have that now. Also, recipes. That's exactly why you don't want to get rid of those gems and such. There are several quests here, and completing them will unlock a bit of information and an entire area. We gotta talk to these people. The man and woman appear to be in a deep conversation while working at closing two bulging satchels. They move to embrace until the woman notices your approach and pauses, her smile faltering a bit.
How do you do?
Can I help you? She looks at her companion, brows furrowed with confusion. Do you know this woman, Naughton? I don't believe so. Was there something you wanted? That cloak. I've seen it before. You killed the man in the cave. Are you accusing him of something? Enogad looks to Naughton, touching his arm. If this is about the accident, we were both grieving Parley's loss, but it was a wild animal's doing. Shakes his head mutely. You see him trembling in his hand. What would you suggest? Why did you do it? He was your friend. He hesitates, then his expression darkens. My friend? He was a cruel enough man to his friends. You didn't know him. You wouldn't defend him if you did. His hand falls to his sword belt. Naughton, wait. She raises a hand. I don't know what you saw in the cave, but this isn't what you think. Parley, my husband, he was much a beast as that bear. I tried to leave the first time I suffered his temper, but he wouldn't have it. She looks away, expression pained. Naughton, we met and I knew I'd found someone special, someone kind, who cared for me. Please, all we want is to leave this place, to go somewhere else. She looks down at the satchels. We have some coins saved up. We could have it, if only you let us go. Shouldn't have killed him, but just go. She blinks, surprised. Thank you. Truly, I'm glad you understand. Only here, take this at least. I hope it brings you luck. We have a long journey ahead of us. I wish you well on your travels, stranger. We won't forget this. Ooh, ring of deflection. That's right. Get this. So that's that quest. There is two more, if I'm remembering correctly, and you only need to do one of them before the thing happens. We know there's more grain in there, Trimble. We don't settle for scraps while you grow fat on our crops. A muffled shouting emerges from the mill. The first of you drunkards that comes through this door gets a shot between the eyes. Gods hear me, Swainer. I'll put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lads. But we'll be back, Trimble, and we'll have fair prices, or by the flame we'll have a reckoning. Good boy. An elven man stands before you. His relatively stocky build suggests a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. Miller raises his club as you enter. Rocket Chick's violently in his grasp. Get back if you value your life. Hold on, I'm not here to hurt anyone. He hesitates and lowers his club. Wait, I know you. You just came into town, right? Don't tell me Slayer already got his claws into you. No, that's all I need. My name's Doomer Bella, and I've only just arrived in Gilded Vale. Trumbull shakes his head. Yeah, picked a bad time to come visiting. Gilded Vale's had all the shine scraped off. Just a big dung heap now, and Swiner thinks he's king of it. They're all of them mad. What was that ruckus outside? Trimble shakes his head. Where I began. Swiner's whipped them up into a froth, going on about the grain stores. Claims I've hidden away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound on the west side of town for ale, and Swiner and his lot don't mind that part. You take a look at the fields on the way into town. Crops bladed, and most of what I'm getting from the farmers. Tumbled gestures to the sack and containers. It's gone off, rotted through. I can't pay top price for bladed wheat. And I've barely got enough grain, or good grain, to go around. Sawyer's howling after things, and he has no right to. Maybe I ought to have a talk with him then. The miller all but sags with relief. I'd be grateful if you did. You won't listen to me anymore. But maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're all having hard times of it. And we'll have to make some sacrifices. We'd be in your debt if you did. If you can convince him. Let's talk to you.
Hello.
Nope.
Welcome.
Don't know who you are and don't much care. Keep walking. We're not here to chat with foreigners. How off there was his eyes. Careful, looks like the cut from the same cloth as those rowdies to I twitched. Dwarf Joe's quiver retreats. What if I brought you around? Will you talk to me then? He considers it briefly, then he looks to the others. Fair enough, you bring us something to our throats, so we might be able to fill up to trade in words.
Yeah. Good day to you.
For fine fellows. You're having me on. Any more fighting and I'll have to ban Samler from the end entirely. Innkeeper frowns. Until then, 6 copper piece for the lot. Alright. Right then, here. 3 drinks for the 3 fulls. Just take care with them. They're a hot-tempered bunch.
Hail, traveler.
I have brought drinks. Hey, so you have. By the flame, I never thought I'd be so happy for a mug of the Black Hound straight beer. God, that's good. Alright then, you've got my attention. What is it you've got to say around the drinks? Look, there's no sense threatening the miller. Now I'm up against the wall. Maybe you could ask some of the other villagers for help. He eyes you for a few long moments, drinking deep from the mug. Then he sighs. You're right. Things go on like they are, we're just gonna end up hanging from that tree out there. Looks to his comrades. Tell Trimble we'll leave him be. Don't know what we'll do now. With the crops failing, we've got another trade. Haven't got another trade to speak of. Tell Pisca she needs. I think Pisca needs a hand around the inn.
Good day to you.
Actually, we're going to go ahead and grab a rogue.
Hail and well met.
We don't have enough gold for one. Okay.
Well met, friend. Sure.
We do not have enough gold to hire a rogue. You're back. Have you had any luck with Samar? Yeah, I spoke with him. And? What did he say? I convinced him to leave your family in peace. Why, that's... Really? That's great news. I wasn't sure you'd get through to them. They're out of their minds when drunk, would drink half the time. I owe you a great debt. Here. Points the coin purse from his hip and pushes it towards you. Today's earning. To show you my appreciation. And you can be sure I'll let everyone know what great help you've been to me. Glad to help. 20 copper. Now we stand a chance of getting through the year. He smiles broadly. All thanks to you. Safe travels, friend. Okay, aside from this down here, there's one more we can do that is over here. A dear wooden woman is standing in front of a fireplace, humming a quiet tune to herself, or perhaps to her unborn child, for she is quite clearly pregnant. She turns her head slightly as you enter.
Good day to you.
Oh, I was expecting someone else. Can I help you? Who were you expecting? My sister, Calissa. She is traveling with one of the caravans. She sent a letter before she came. She said she was going to pay her way by working as a guard for the caravan master. She always was a tough one. She pauses. I don't suppose you've seen her on the road. Or the caravan, perhaps. It's Mr. Odima's. I was with that caravan. I'm afraid the rest of them were killed. Kana Bialik. She covers her mouth with a hand, eyes wide in horror. For a few moments, she can manage nothing but a strangled, voiceless gasping, her eyes brimming with tears. Emil, I told her it was a dangerous path to take. Calissa was always so certain she could take on any danger. Oh, my poor sister. I'm sorry, stranger. I can't believe she's gone. If only I hadn't called her here. If I hadn't written to her, she might still be alive somewhere. Her face crumples, a solitary tear running down her cheek. She mentioned she thought you needed help. Perhaps I can provide some assistance? She looks at you with some surprise before dabbing at her nose with the sleeve. That's kind of you to offer, but I don't know if I could impose this upon you. It's not a small favor. She wipes at her eyes. I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy. I told Calissa as much as I could. But all I know is that for a long time now, every child born in Gilded Vale has been soulless, empty. It's happened to so many mothers, and Lord Roderick. He's exiled all of them, calling it a sign of the gods' disfavor. She sniffed. With my Hathorn gone, I don't know I'd managed if I lost my home too. I hoped Calissa could help me. They say Rangar, the old midwife, knows a way to prevent the child from being hollowborn. But she moved south to Azon Compass 2 seasons ago. The journey's too far for me. I can't make it as I am. But I don't have anyone else to help. With Calissa gone, more tears run down her face. Please, can you help me? I'll find her for you. You will? Oh, gods bless you. Here, I'll give you the coin to pay her with. You needn't trouble yourself with that. I think it's a drink she fashions out of, well, I'm not sure. But it shouldn't be too much of a burden to carry back. The compass is what we call the lagoon to the south. We'll have to cross the wilds to get there. That's what keeps me from trying myself. She clasped her hands together. Thank you again. Truly, you'll be saving us both. She sets a hand on her stomach, smiling through her tears. Okay, well, this is going to be it for today. We have 3 party members and not enough gold to make a new character. So, let's go with this one as the picture. We are halfway to the next level. Mostly or moderately good reputation in the Gilded Vale. And these are actually people that backed the creation of this game. We now have enough for a rogue. Let's go ahead and make a rogue quick. I'm gonna go ahead and base this off of the character concept that one of my friends often
Good day,
uses.
stranger.
I usually go with a tiefling character. Give them an elf build because they're going to be a rogue. Crippling Strike or Blinding Strike. Crippling. There we go. As for their they're the type that would do this. Drifter for the stats. Primary will be black. Secondary will be purple. And we'll give her this head.
I'll lead the way.
What was that character's name in my campaign? Namara. And there we go, we have a rogue. With that, everything is set. We have a decent party with a decent balance. And this is where it's going to end. hope you all had a wonderful time here. And if you enjoyed my content, make sure to follow me here on Twitch. Or if you're watching this VOD on YouTube, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Hit the bell for notifications either way, and if you stuck around this long on YouTube, check out this playlist if you enjoyed my content. And if you didn't, here's a video that you think you'll like. And make sure if you have an animal, give them all the attention they want, which I'm going to have to be doing here later. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.